Hello, my friends. I'm really happy to be doing this video with you, for you. You haven't asked for it, but in a way you have in the last few months. I've heard some comments, and I'm really happy to be connecting with you on the subject of what I do, yeah, but what's going on the bigger picture. You've heard me talk about this since about 2013. You all know me. This is a limited audience video. So it's just you and me here and our other family members. And I got an inspiration after having a really high level lucid experience that made me feel like not only do I want you to have this experience as well, but I think it's really possible for you to have this experience your way. Okay. Now, what am I talking about? I am talking about my friends who do psychedelics. Okay. You know who you are. Or maybe you're interested in doing psychedelics. And I've talked with some of you about the possibility of coming together as a community, as a family, not just as a group of people meeting someplace. Okay, there's no more groups of people that are not united by a greater a greater brotherhood, a greater love, a greater history on the spiritual level. Okay. So what I don't want to do here is I don't want to make this more complicated than it has to be. Okay. So I'm just going to show you this in case I haven't explained lately or clearly enough what I mean when I say higher levels, lower levels, ascension, 5D, all that stuff. Okay. So here we go. All right. Really simple, just some pretty lines with some colors. See the brown here, the lowest one here? This is 3D, the third dimensional plane on Earth. It's the part of the Earth that is really not of the Earth, it's the part of human nature that is really quite blunt, not particularly inspired. It's really kind of the base nature of humans that's based upon survival instinct, including the social survival instinct. Okay? And people vibrate and function at a level that matches this external environment. So we're on Earth acting like Earthlings. Earth is three-dimensional, third dimensional, and we act third dimensional when we're in the third dimensional plane on Earth. Okay, so this is where we were born, and we're natives. Okay, now this next one up here is a little bit lighter brown. This is 4D, and what 4D is for 3D natives like us, 4D is the place where you work out how to have more happiness, love, joy, dignity, understanding about yourself as a 3D native. Okay, this is an internal experience. There is an external 4D, but we don't need to go into it right now. Okay, so the ascension is about going up here to 5D, and there's a big gap in between because once you've gone through your 4D, guess what? You're done with the Earth. You're done with all that old 3D stuff, and 4D is your internal bridge to 5D. 5D is lovely and pretty, And it doesn't have any of the scary, unfair, cynical, violent, junk, the filth. Okay, it doesn't exist up here. It doesn't exist within people. It doesn't exist within societies. And it doesn't exist within you anymore if you ever embodied any of that stuff. It's all over for you having to deal with that in your life when you're up here. Okay? Then there's a bunch of other layers that go up. There's not 4 layers. I don't know. I've been up and down my spectrum of consciousness. By the way, we all have this spectrum of consciousness within us. An internal form of consciousness to match the external environment. All of them work that way. So 5D, we will be in a 5D environment. And our internal vibe and our behavior, our psychology, our ability to love will all function at this level. Okay, so that's how you get there. You evolve, you ascend, and you end up in a place that matches the purity in your heart. This is all heart, and it goes way, way up. Okay, so let's leave that alone for a second. I have an idea based upon a recent experience that I had in a very, very special place that I've been to before. Made me think of you all, made me want to bring you into it. Now, this place that I went to is way up here. I mean, it's way up here. A lot of people will never experience, most people will never experience being up here in this place that I'm talking about in this lifetime. Okay, maybe monks living in the Himalayas or something like that. I don't know. But it might be you when you're on your psychedelic. You might be able to get up there because the truth is, even though here to here is a quantum leap, you easily rise up. From here up, you easily rise up. It's all part of you. All of this is part of you. And the hardest part is to get from here to here to here. Once you've done that, you're home free. So I know that some of you in your experience with various types of psychedelics have had altered states of consciousness that some of you have described as spiritual. You can see this as spiritual if you want to, or you can just see it as a vibrational hierarchy. You can see it as science, okay, because vibration is the building blocks of everything in the universe. We already know that. But what science doesn't know is that vibration is conscious. There's consciousness. This is all consciousness. So that's the difference between science and spirituality, is that spirituality sees all this as consciousness. Okay. Now, I want to tell you a story. I consider all of this stuff very, very spiritual. Why is that? Because it always leads you to your heart. It never fails to leave you in a place where you feel ecstatic, finally calmed, finally something feels calm within you, your angst, your existential angst perhaps, it all goes away. Okay, you're fulfilled in some of these higher dimensions once you realize that love is the only thing that matters. And at the end of the day, love is your identity, and love is the ultimate environment. I mean that not just in a pretty wordy way. I mean that because my experience of this, traveling up and down my whole life, This is a vibrational experience. It goes, some of it belongs in your head, like I have to use my head to create words and explain this to you. But the truth is, it's all heart. Okay? It's all heart. So, um, yeah, there we go. Now, let me ask you this. Why do you do psychedelics? Why do you do psychedelics? I know some of you have said, oh, I do psychedelics to have a spiritual experience. Spiritual being a word that people use their own way. Okay. Transcendent experience, out there experience, whatever. Okay. I've been to a place recently and in the past that I feel I can bring the vibration of this place into a room. I can bring it through myself because it resides within me. This is a picture of me right here. Okay, picture of you, picture of me. We're all the same. We all have this stuff on the inside. Well, I can bring this vibration into a room through me on the phone with people, and they'll feel it from across space or whatever, because we're talking about quantum movement with this vibration that is identifiable as one of the very highest levels. I don't know, I want to call it 12 or something like that. It's really high. If you want to go there, just ask yourself, why am I doing psychedelics? Am I ready to really have an experience that, I don't want to say changes you, I want to say that you allow it to change you. You allow yourself to remember or realize that whatever experience you're having on your psychedelics, that it is a part of you. Even if you conceptualize it up on this thing somewhere in areas of the universe you don't understand, it all comes through you, and you are capable of channeling this stuff for yourself. I do it all the time. And I know you can do it too, because I know all of you people. And I see it in you all the time. And that's why I love you all so much. You just make me crazy with love. So, do you want to give it a try? Let me tell you the story of this place that I've been to. It's very unusual, and it sounds exactly like an acid trip. But what I'm here to tell you is it's not a hallucination, in the sense where I can see something, but I'm really in an altered state of consciousness, and all it is my brain doing something crazy, and it's all just visual. It's not just visual. It's a vibration. And when you experience a vibration from way up here, guess what? You are way up here. You are. And you feel it in your body. So let me bring physicality into it for a quick sec. Physicality here in the third dimensional plane on Earth is really blunt. It's heavy. If you've ever had the flu and you've gotten out of bed and tried to go to the kitchen for a glass of water or something, and you noticed how heavy your body feels, when you start coming up here, you're going to go, oh my God, how heavy was my body down here? And how heavy was my mind? And how heavy was life down here? You start to really lighten up here. And it is a physical feeling within your body that you are in a place that's lighter or that's different, that vibrates differently. So let me tell you this story, and let me tell you that it is a physical experience. Here we go. You know what a vacuum is? You know what a vacuum is? Like a glass container that's got no air on the inside and it's vacuous in there. Well, I had a recent lucid, fully lucid, physically lucid, everything experience in the place that has you experiencing yourself as though you were in a vacuum. And not because it made your body feel weird pressure or different things like that, but because there's no reverberation from you outwards into the space inside the vacuum. What would be the reverberations that I'm saying don't exist in there? Sound, super quiet. It's super quiet in the vacuum experience. Your thoughts, okay? Normally in our life, if you experience something or you feel something internally or you think something, it leads to more and more and more and more thoughts. You can take 50 steps in thought. Your thoughts can evolve countless times from one thought that you had, and it can bring you forward into anticipating that this thought that you had has an evolutionary path, and you will be dealing with that thought in your future because the thought rolled down into your future, right? But as you're sitting there thinking about it and you go, boop, oh my God, somebody's going to be pissed at me because I said that. Boop, oh my God. And then they're going to tell my mom, and my mom is going to be disappointed at me. Boom. And then my dad's going to give me that look, and he's going to be like, it's going to be something that's going to bother me for days. Boop. I won't be able to let go of it while I'm at work. I'll be doing my work, and then I'll just be distracted, and I won't be able to continue to do my thing. Boop. And then I'm not going to be very happy when I get home, and I bet I won't even be up to walking my dog. You see where I'm going with this? It just keeps going and going and going, which is what the mind does. That's what the mind does. And the mind is the realm of 3D. You are not going to take your 3D mind anywhere up here. Okay, you leave it here and you leave it here. You still have the possibility of thinking and having thoughts that evolved and watching them, but they're not going to own you like they own you down here, because they're all based in survival instinct, social survival, physical survival. Okay. So you're in a vacuum, and you are incapable at this very, very high dimension of hearing thoughts in your head. You cannot hear any thoughts in your head. Thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, nothing. You are perfectly suspended in the present moment with no echo of your own thoughts. Okay? So who are you in the vacuum? You are innocence. And the thing that you experience in the vacuum is your authentic self, which is emotional. You are a feeling. You are a heart. And when you came down to 3D, you took a body that has a mind, and you are in a place where survival instinct drives the mind. Okay, but here at this really high level, you don't have any need for that. And so the vacuum is a huge blessing that allows you to experience yourself as the pure heart that you are. No mind at all. Just your feelings. Just your feelings. So the story goes, I was in the car in a lucid dream. I'm lucid dreaming all night long, but I could feel vibrationally in my body, in my mind, in my priorities. My priorities change when I'm ascending up the vibrational spectrum, even in a lucid experience while my body's asleep. So, okay. So, I'm in the car with a person in my life who is in my heart. for sure. And he says, he's driving, and he says, I'm looking for our new home, but it's not here. It doesn't exist yet. And I said, I know it doesn't. And just as I say, I know it doesn't, I find myself in that vacuum where I don't care about past thoughts. I don't care about my history with this person. I don't care what's going to happen, because the words, it doesn't exist yet, imply linear time moving forward. Yeah. But I don't even care about that at this point. I stopped caring about all my thoughts. All I knew what was going on in my heart. I just knew. And my thoughts were meaningless to me all of a sudden. And he and I walked into a house, and it was complete vacuum. I could see everything. I could feel my feelings, but I could not reflect in my mind about what I was seeing at all. I was only my feelings. I saw my niece in the house, and I just felt my heart, and there was nothing to think, nothing at all. What's the ultimate reality here? She owns my heart. I don't give a shit about anything else. What's there to think about? My heart is in ecstasy. And I moved farther into this house, and I saw my friend again, and I saw him there with his family, and I felt sadness in my heart. Did not reflect upon it. I felt sadness. I felt myself wanting to have tears, and I didn't care why, because it doesn't matter. Nothing matters except your heart, because that's your identity. And so I felt my sadness. I felt my tears. I saw indications of what the future might hold, because really what I was viewing at that point was not the future. It was myself and my feelings that I was having in that moment in my life, at that point in my life. It was all about me and my feelings without my mind getting in the way. And when you feel yourself as a pure, authentic emotion, whether that emotion is a happy one or a sad one, it doesn't matter. It all comes from your heart. It's all authentically you. You are absolutely innocent. You don't have that feeling that I'm jaded and cynical and I have to use thoughts to save myself from my own emotions to survive in an atmosphere in 3D, where if I don't hide my emotions and I don't play it off well, I might get, thrown out of some social circles. God forbid, I might lose my job, my house, and someone might kill me on the street, right? That's how the survival instinct sees everything is, am I ultimately going to die from this? Or is this going to set me up for harm in any kind of way? You don't have that when you're in the vacuum. You are completely innocent, and also you're completely safe. And the thing that you will take from this is you are completely pure. Your heart and your emotions are completely pure. They are stunningly beautiful. They are everything. And I don't think ever again will you disrespect yourself in your simplicity and in your emotions. If I hadn't had this experience, and I've had one similar before in the vacuum, You bet your ass I would eat some shrooms to have this experience. Now, I wish this experience on everyone. If you're ready, set an intention before you take your psychedelics. Set an intention inside saying, I will receive myself. Whatever happens, I will receive myself and I will not hide. And that's when that experience becomes accessible to you. It doesn't have to feel like it's way the heck up here, although it will feel that way. But while you're down here ruminating about whether or not you want to go up here and have this experience, don't worry about it. A lot of people take quantum leaps, and this is a quantum leap in consciousness when they're on psychedelics. It's all inside of you anyway. It's not out there in space somewhere. It's accessible to you. All right, there's that. I want to let you know that if you want to try this out, there are ways that I can help facilitate the leap. And that is if we are together, one way or another, hopefully in the same room would be very, very nice, then I can bring the vibration of the vacuum into my body. I can become it and thus bring it into the room. And if you are a sensitive individual or you become sensitive on your psychedelics, you might just tap into it and get a little contact vibe going and end up having it. All right. Let me know how you feel about that. I would like to make more videos, but I haven't known who my audience is. Time has gone by. We're in a new place, and I want you to have what you deserve. And it's not having anything to do with 3D. All right. Please comment as a group or individually. You know how to get a hold of me. And I don't know how I'm going to distribute this. I don't know what platform. I'm so sick of all that stuff. But, find a way to let me know. Do you want more information? Do you want to put something together? Do you want a gathering? Do you have questions? Your intention, everybody's intention, will guide this from here on out. I've put my intention out here to say, hey, I've got this to share, and you're my people, and I would give it to you. But from here on out, it's your intention that will drive this thing, if there is a thing for you. Okay. I'm looking at the clock, working with a new thing.